We're coming to you from inside the Mother of Parliaments in the United Kingdom, and we're midway through this beautiful Jammu and Kashmir festival, which is underway in London. It is a 6-day long event that has been happening, and I, of course, brought to you a little bit of the color that you saw, but it's not just song and dance. There's a lot more that's going on, and this is an effort, I think, to project Jammu and Kashmir, correct me if I'm wrong, as a state with a lot more to do than just tourism. This is beyond the curfews and the tourism. There's a lot more to the state, and we'll find out what that is. I'm going to go first to the lady, the curator of the festival. Have you been happy with the representation we've had at the festival over the several days in terms of who comes from which region, which religion, which community?
Well, you want an honest answer, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not 100% happy because at least 5 or 6 people did not get the visas to come, or there was some difficulty. So it's not entirely what I would have loved for, to happen. But having the limitations that we do, and visas and immigration is a difficult one to deal with. So what we've got is just really amazing. It's incomprehensible. People wouldn't have imagined that we would be able to pull this together. So yes, I'm happy, but not 100% happy. I would have been happier if everybody would have made it.
But it's just the first, and to many more. So hopefully the next year we'll have more such representation. Manu, you represent Dogra Voice, which of course has played a very important role, I see, through the days in trying to represent this community and the achievements that they have made. Specifically given, we are referring to the time of 26th of October, and we have with us a member of this all-important family of the Maharaja who's come here, imported from Jammu and Kashmir to London. So in that sense, are the people from this community very thrilled about what has been happening?
Well, yes, the response has been absolutely spectacular. It's crossed, what I had imagined. It's crossed beyond that. But then it's not so surprising also, because for the last 70 years, Jammu and Ladakh, both these regions, and I'd like to point out here that there are 3 regions in the state, Kashmir, Jammu and Ladakh. So Jammu and Ladakh have not had a voice at all. And
also, of course, we have POJK, which is part of us.
Absolutely. So this has, in fact, this festival, because it's featuring all the 3 regions, it's representational of all the 3 regions. It's cut across boundary lines, because we've had members of the Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir who have bonded just because we are speaking of culture and history. So when you speak of my region, especially Jammu, we cannot miss out the martial traditions, and we had a little showcase of the Dogra martial traditions, and we instantly hit it off with the POJK community, because these are the people who belong to our ethnicity, and this is the history and this is the culture which binds us. Balwanji's show had a Pahari song, so and they instantly connected, and we've seen 50,000 plus views on what we showcased about Trafalgar. It's just growing.
And it's growing.
So people are talking about it, which itself I think is a great thing to happen, because there's been this marquee at Diwali at Trafalgar Square, which saw a lot of people come and visit the stall. There have been a lot of hits on the website. People are curious to see what Jammu and Kashmir, the food is, what colors, what stalls are available in Pashmina. So people are indeed talking about it, which itself is a big hit. Impressed?
I'm extremely impressed, and I'm impressed with this group, because when they came to me and met me in Jammu, I was a little iffy, itna bada aap kar payenge, nahi kar payenge, kaise karenge. But it's beyond.
Given the very interesting times and the dynamism.
Absolutely. And hats off to them. I would say it's just the beginning of an era which is going to start, and Jammu and Ladakh is going to be revived again. Kashmir, of course, is on the map. But I think most important thing is that people from there who've come participated, and also the local participation, and way back home. Everyone is so excited, especially the youth, who is again wanting to know about their culture, about their, like you mentioned, it's not only the culture, but it's also their clothes, the way of eating, their different cuisines, because Dogra cuisine is different, Ladakhi cuisine is different, Dogra clothes are different. People talk about the cashmere, you mentioned about Pashmina just now, but it's not only that, it is the Dogra dress. It's the ladies what wear the Dogra dress, which is actually the suthan, which is amazing. So it's reviving old culture, traditions, history, and binding everyone back in these times when there is so much going on in Jammu and Kashmir.
Sure. And that's exactly why I want to talk to Sushil. It's very, very interesting times. I won't say different, but difficult circumstances, definitely. Not very different from what we've seen in the past. But do you see there being an effort, not just here but mainly in Jammu and Kashmir, made to project the state as a more progressive one that can draw a lot more trade to it, perhaps, given we're talking of businessmen having discussions on how to trade. There's so much more scope than just tourism.
Yes, indeed. So this actually showcases another aspect of the state, which has been lost to a lot of people, because there has been only unidimensional kind of take on Kashmir all through the years. And what this effort underlines is that identity, which is very often the basis for politics, can actually nourish culture, can nourish tradition a lot more than politics, and that's where identity belongs. So we need to retrieve that identity back from politics and put it back into culture, tradition, and the lifestyle that is nourished by the identity. That's where identity really belongs. And efforts like these will help us rediscover those identities in their pristine glory, weld them together, and bring people together, as we've seen happening here. Not in politics where identities take people apart and put them into conflict. So things like these, efforts like these are amazing, commendable, and especially when done single-handedly by individuals with their modest resources, it is a moving experience.
Is culture the only way to bring people together now? Are you convinced of that, or are there more ways to do that?
No, I don't think culture is the only way. I think culture is definitely
One of
a
the
very
ways.
deep part of it. But I personally believe, like he said, he just mentioned that voluntarily, when you have so many people come together and sort of go back to your roots in a very modern sort of presentation, We are sitting in Parliament, which is huge as far as I'm concerned. I think this is really a very, very big and the most beautiful part of what you've done, Manu. And Lalit came to us in Jammu a couple of months ago, and they spoke to us about their project. And I was so excited because honestly, like my husband just mentioned, that Kashmir has been talked about hugely. Jammu and Ladakh have really been in the background. And in my own little way, in Jammu, I'm very keen to join hands with the two of them and take this to another level. The three of them, and Lakshmi, of course, I missed meeting you the last time my husband met with you in London. But he did mention what you were doing. And
He's usually there with a lot of MPs from here.
Yes.
Back
Yes,
home.
yes. So, basically I'm into education in the state, and I have tried to, a lot of my students have already been coming to London and the UK on exchange programs and things like that. And they all want to sort of take back what they learn here, back to the state, and bring here what this culture and the state has to offer. And through music, food, culture, I think we're doing a very good job. They're doing a fabulous job. I wish I was here to see the festival. But next year, hopefully, I should be very much a part of it and hopefully join in the dance and song as much as the rest of them.
What does Jammu and Kashmir, the state, mean to you personally?
Well, being from Jammu and Kashmir, the state means to me everything. So I can't really sum it up very shortly. So for me, it's my pride. And it's even more so now that we were able to present it to the whole world, not only London. I've never lived in Jammu Kashmir, and this is the power of your own land, that it has pulled me back to itself now. And all I want and I think is about how to get connected to my own world.
Never grown up there? That's two of you.
Three of us.
So never grown up there, but still means everything to you.
I have lived a lot in Jammu and Kashmir, but I would like to answer your question on identity because I've grown up, and I think I was meant to do this because I grew up telling people, basically, I am from Jammu and Kashmir, and I think this is a culmination of my from my primary school days. I've been saying, basically, I'm from Jammu and Kashmir, and explaining to people that no, from Jammu railway station, I don't take a shikara back home. That happens in Kashmir. I generally board a matador and come home to Pakkadanga. So I think it's been this amazing journey, and it would not have been possible. This, the way it's impacted people, if Lakshmi and I and Lalit and people from other communities, they had not come together.
Why we're standing here and why we concluded the whole program in the Parliament on the accession day, which we've now announced as Jammu Kashmir Day, is because the perception here needed to change. All politicians across the board, vote bank politics and not vote bank politics, do not know about Jammu Kashmir the way it is. They do not know it is the crown crowning glory of India. At the Trafalgar Square, many people came up to me. I said, "Oh, do you need a visa to go to Kashmir? Do you need a visa to go to Jammu Kashmir? Is it a separate country?" People actually have called it a separate country, and that perception needed to be changed. They think that as soon as you land at the airport, there'll be a bomb waiting for you to explode. And that perception needed to change, and the fact that Balwanchi's troupe is all diverse sort of people from different communities, different districts, and they represented different forms of dancing. It showed people, it educated them on the diversity of it. In fact, we said Jammu and Kashmir is as diverse as any country in the world, or the world itself gets together. It's a melting pot of many cultures.
Sure. What's very heartening for me is that here in London, where the cultural scene is very, very diverse indeed, there's finally something to put Jammu and Kashmir on that pedestal as well. Why separate that state when you can celebrate dances and other art forms of every other state of India? And yes, there's been a lot of negativity attached to Jammu and Kashmir, the state, but this is one such effort being made to change that perspective, and hopefully there'll be more such happening.